It is Ron, Mayka, and Abdullah Hassouneh from CoorsTek. And I mean, we will listen to Ron and Abdullah talking about their strategy and vision to be able to unify both processes and systems into more simpler setup, engaging their customers as well as their end user into this. And we will also see how the work together with Technia and the Technia products have supported them on that journey. They are on the west coast of US, so this is a pre-recording, but nevertheless, welcome up on stage, Ron and Abdullah.
Good morning. My name is Abdullah Hassouneh, and I'm the Global Quality Senior Business Process Manager at CoorsTek. I work for Global Quality, and I've been with the company approximately 5 years.
Good morning. My name's Ron Mayka. I work for CoorsTek. I've been in the business over 30 years, and I've been with CoorsTek for 2 years. My current role is Senior IT Project Manager.
We'll be talking today about our experience with the whole project of implementing eQMS at CoorsTek and our experience with Technia. We've titled it a Global Systems Strategy for Quality Model Plant Rollout. We'll start with a brief introduction about our company. Again, the name is CoorsTek. CoorsTek is a leader in engineered high-tech ceramics. We are a high-tech company that develops solutions in order to meet customer needs in order to make the world measurably better. And this is our vision. We manufacture over 400 different materials used to make thousands of products for our customers. And our manufacturing space continues to grow at over 500,000 square meters or 500,000 square meters and over 6,000 employees. CoorsTek is a private company, and we're based out of Denver, Colorado, with manufacturing facilities in 4 different continents, from the Americas to Europe and Asia. And this, of course, enables us to have a strong global reach. So I'll go through a brief history of CoorsTek. CoorsTek dates back to the 1870s when it was Coors, and I'm sure everybody knows that they make beer. The company then started making some low-tech porcelain and ceramic products, and that kind of evolved over time into higher-tech ceramics, and eventually we penetrated various markets. In the 2000s, we became Coors Ceramics, and again continued to do global expansion by acquisition and investments in infrastructure. This led to us acquiring over 28 companies around the world. The faces you see right now are the current co-CEOs, and they're all from the Coors family. And the name eventually became CoorsTek from Coors Ceramics. So why ceramics? When people think about ceramics, they think of pottery and tiles, but this is really low-tech. We no longer make that. We actually are into high-tech ceramics. And the reason for ceramics is because of their special characteristics. We combine many of the Earth's elements to make these products that have special properties and characteristics, including hardness, thermal, chemical, and electrical properties. These properties actually supersede many of other materials used in the industry. And in the next slide, you'll see that we use over half of the Earth's elements, or half of the Earth's known elements, to make over 400 material formulations and formulas that our customers need. And using those elements, we make our products. We have our own blends that are proprietary, and that's one of the things that differentiates us from our competitors. We design for manufacturability, which means we're able to consult with our customers and design specific products to meet their needs and reduce the manufacturing complexity with our customers and cost. We do tailor our products to their needs. We also manufacture a wide range of advanced materials, and as we put it, from A to Z, from aluminas to zirconias. We're always looking to discover and create the next generation of ceramic materials. Our variety is pretty large, and actually it's larger than most other manufacturers. Many of these materials are tougher than most elements used in end user products. These are just some examples of products and materials that we make or are involved in. So where do you find these engineered ceramics? They're found pretty much everywhere, but you don't realize it. They're found in all these industries, from aerospace and defense, automotive, medical devices and implants, semiconductor, agriculture, household goods, electronics, energy and chemicals. And in just a few examples, in defense, we actually make the armor that protects law enforcement, soldiers, vehicles of law enforcement and soldiers, helicopters, and so on. We make mirrors that are used in space telescopes. So our mirrors are actually in space right now. A lot of implants and artificial joints are also made by CoorsTek. We make ceramic balls, they're ball bearings that are used in dentist drills and jet engines of commercial and fighter planes. So we're pretty much everywhere. Almost every household has products that have CoorsTek products or products that we actually make or are involved in. We'll talk now about the Enterprise Quality Management System, or eQMS. Just a brief background, we didn't really have an enterprise system, and that's partly due to our quick acquisitions of companies and our focus on expansion of our portfolio. That resulted in no common systems or processes, and the different plants had their own systems and processes, and they were just all over the place. Some of the names we share here, others were just using simple file systems. That made, of course, training a challenge as we do onboarding and we merge companies and merge processes. We weren't able to have a central support system. This, of course, was not scalable. It was a challenge to meet customer, regulatory, and ISO requirements. And we didn't have any cross-system integration and communication. Clearly, when you have a lot of systems, you can't easily have them communicate together without a lot of investment. So what's our vision? Our vision is really a single system with unified processes, meeting internal and external customer needs, meeting requirements for ISO standards, regulatory requirements, being able to be scalable. We want cross-system integration. We want to be able to create and generate reports on demand for KPIs and for audit support to help us improve, meet our customer needs, and deliver to our customers. We want to have data security and integrity. This was also something that we didn't really have. And then we want it to be configurable and customizable when it's not configurable.
The overall eQMS vision leads to the model plant vision. Currently, we have 28 plus plants, and quite frankly, every plant was doing its own thing in its own way, which worked fine when they were individual companies or parts of companies. But once they were acquired by CoorsTek, what we're looking at now is trying to find a way to integrate everything into one total system where we can get data from all the plants and analyze it universally, which is a very difficult thing to do unless everybody is using the same tools. So what we decided to centralize on is we're going to centralize on Aprizo as the shop floor application, with the back-end vault being Innovia with the Technia front end. Essentially, we're using Innovia as the repository for all revision control documents and drawings. Plus, Aprizo will interface with our ERP, which is currently QAD, moving to SAP probably in a year or two. We're also using Ignition for machine data collection, Infinity QS for statistical process control, and we hope to get all of the KPIs in a central place where they can be analyzed across all of our plants. In the future, we're looking at something called NCR. I'm sure those in quality are very familiar with non-conformance reports. We're looking at how to integrate that. We're also looking at how to integrate CAPA, which is just an acronym for corrective action, preventive action. But the key is that Innovia will be the vault. The Aprizo on the shop floor, the user who uses Aprizo will only have read-only access. They may be able to attend to see the native file or the PDF, but they won't be able to change anything. For any document that needs to be modified or created or language translated, that will all be done in Innovia with an Innovia license. Okay, Abdullah, go ahead to the next slide. Essentially, we're using Innovia as the product lifecycle management system. We're integrating everything, as I said, as a repository. We're especially concerned with revision control and version control. We're putting in quality procedures, work instructions, technical library, drawings. We're currently only putting in PDF drawings, but eventually we're going to integrate the actual CAD applications themselves with Innovia. Things like AutoCAD Inventor, Creo Parametrics, SolidWorks. A couple of years from now, they'll all be fully integrated with Innovia. So an engineer will be able to get his drawings from and versioning to the back end of Innovia as the library. We're also using it for intellectual property. Our system supports both ITAR and EAR controlled documents. One of the ways we do that, we decided not to go with any specialized complex security module, but rather we're associating a document to a site, and then a person has roles in there in the system. So for example, if I'm in the system and I'm associated to sites A and B, I can see only documents for A and B. And if I don't have the ITAR role, I won't be able to see any ITAR documents. If I have the ITAR role, then I'm only able to see the ITAR documents for the specific sites that I'm associated with. So that's how we implemented security within the system. And as said before, the interface with Aprizo is because Aprizo is our shop floor application for the work orders and all of those kinds of things. In terms of inventory control and everything goes with being on the shop floor. Essentially, we're using Innovia to replace a whole series of different tools we currently use. We use CBOS, eQMS, native CAD PDMs. We use homegrown tools like something called Cervex. And when you have 28 plus plants, essentially, and everyone is doing their own thing, we're trying to get them all on the same page to use the same set of tools. So then the question is, why did we choose Technia? And I'll let Abdullah take you through that journey.
Thanks, Ron. So why Technia? That's the big question, right? So why Technia again? The Technia approach with the Helium front end was really the selling point. It enabled us to have customized key features, including the ability to create new and unique roles for special access for controls and security. It enabled us to have customized workflow and quality doc states that are custom to our needs. We were able to include periodic document review and approval. We added a two-tier approach to document workflow approval, including a fast track path that enables us to release documents create and release documents basically within 1 minute or less. We're able to expand the search capability and granularity to meet, again, the user needs. As Ron mentioned, we added an interface between two applications, enabling the extraction of documents from Innovia. And we still have plans to expand on that. We limited certain functions and roles such that some users would have read-only and edit access, but also added security roles such as ear and ITAR access. Another thing that we made was auto generation of PDF files for compatible native files, so that end users would have access only to read-only PDF files with certain exceptions, and we're able to have toggles that enables the user to see the native file as well. We enabled reports. So we're generating KPIs and maintenance reports that supervisors and managers are able to use. This helps them manage the system, manage the documents, report on the KPIs in real time. And all of this without having to really push that many buttons. We have the ability now to share global documents with plants. So as global quality and corporate, we can generate documents and assign them at the global level and share them with all the plants with a really neat and unique feature, which is site acknowledgement and adoption capability. So as we share them, we can monitor the sites that adopt and accept these documents. And we can report on that, and we can follow up with the plants that have not, or maybe late on adopting these documents. At the same time, we have department level acknowledgement of the documents. So within each site, we have departments, and they're able to acknowledge, and we're able to track the acknowledgement of these departments for these documents. So again, this helps with customer audits, with internal and external audits, and with our overall efficiency of function here at CoorsTek. So what does the Technia Helium front end really do for us? It simplifies really the user interface and makes it more intuitive and user-friendly. It minimizes the number of clicks required for any task. This was a really big deal. Compared, with the backend, we were able to completely simplify the process in this Technia front end. It maximizes the amount of information that a user can see in one screen. It allows customization of the GUI without really affecting or having to modify base Innovia code. And again, this was another important selling point and a very big deal for us. It allows customization of workflows. It allows site-related administration directly in the interface. So at the site level, they can administer their site, their departments, their employees directly within the same interface without having to resort to the backend. There was quite a bit of positive global user response when presented with a demo on the Helium front end. And this is compared with past systems and backends that we presented to the users. This is at the global level, meaning we had different cultures, different languages, different approaches to systems, and it was very well received. This helped us sell it internally and actually begin work on it right away. Now, one of the really key features here is it provides seamless compatibility with any new Innovia backend releases, meaning we don't really have to worry about them as much on our end, on the front end. It's all done in the backend. So what has our experience with Technia been like? We really found the Technia team to be very experienced and knowledgeable. They were very pleasant and easy to work with. They had solutions for every problem we presented. and they always offered alternatives. In cases where we would get stuck, we would be offered workarounds. So we were never given the no answer. And quite honestly, with our past experience that we've had, I've had maybe over 15 years experience with quality management systems and working with developers. Quite often, we've heard no more than we've heard yes to questions that we asked about adding features and functions to a system. But with Technia, they made everything that we needed possible, whether workarounds or direct solutions. They were very organized, and they utilized a structured approach to the implementation project using Jira. And we were very impressed with that approach. It gave us many benefits, and just some of these benefits, were like the ability to assess the complexity of user stories, assign them points, which enabled us to prioritize these user stories, and allowed us to go through them in a hierarchy of importance. One other thing that Technia did was captured lessons learned so that we don't repeat the same mistakes in future iterations. And we've already gone through a bunch of phases with Technia during this implementation. Now, there was another positive thing about their approach where all the features and enhancements that we requested, they would always be pre-tested before our testing, before user acceptance testing. And this may look like it's a given, but it wasn't with our past experience. In these cases, it meant high first-time pass rate. So when we're handed off an item for testing, it had a very high chance of passing immediately. The other thing that helped us was that the developer testing had evidence and documentation. So we actually can see what the developer did, what they tested, their results, screenshots, evidence of their testing. And so we could even go and validate what they had done. And again, all through this structured approach using Jira. Other experience included very timely and quick responses to our questions, our issues, emails. No matter how much we bombarded them with questions, they were patient to always provide us with responses. And from the responses, we could tell they're very organized in extracting and retrieving information to get us the right information the first time. So we had high quality results overall. Issues were fixed very quickly. And during data migration, we had very positive support for data migration. And I have to say very positive and patient support during data migration, which is a big deal because it's not just one site and one set of data migration. It's actually from all of our plants. And at the end of the day, it enabled CoorsTek to crystallize the model plant vision that Ron had presented. And with that, we conclude our presentation. Thank you very much.